Welcome to the King of Iron, Noctis Lucis Kylo. Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight. Fight. KO. Round three. Fight.
Piece of cake.
Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight. KO. Round two. Fight. KO. Round three. Fight. Fight.
I'm gonna reel in a monster. Let's fish.
Hello, hello.
Yo, yo.
How's it going?
So yeah, it's good. It's good. How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah. So I mean, I did say I had an objective, but I also want to let you do your coaching thing.
Yeah. No. So my coaching's pretty flexible. I'm pretty open to what the user wants, you know.
Yeah. So
So
my big objective
yeah, go ahead.
is like, I think I'm a good player, like top 16 maybe on a good day, but then who knows on a bad day. So I want to gain more consistency. I feel like I'm just starting to actually play the game properly,
Mm-hmm.
labbing matchups when I have trouble, playing off of at least my frames, learning opponent frames is going to take a while.
Yeah.
And the big thing that I'm learning is like keying in on tendencies is a hard thing for me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's sort of where I'm headed. And I think
Okay.
you, as sort of you've grown and then consistent top 8 perform. I want to hear your mindset on that.
Top
But yeah,
8 in Seattle, top 8 nationally.
yeah, I think national and like the big tournaments be able to, because as much as rank doesn't matter, I think TGP and TGO like require a certain amount of consistency to keep, and like I don't have consistency against opponents to like maintain those ranks if I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna put rank into the picture.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I definitely recommend continuing to play ranked. I think that challenging different matchups, different um play styles and everything is super important. Same thing with like ICFC, things like that. That's
yeah,
all
for
really important.
sure.
Um yeah, so whenever we play, I always feel like your problem is more of a Noctis problem than a FDX problem. Um,
uh,
and it was really obvious to me after I played Kazumi against you that like, oh, I think he actually, understands how to do his offense and things like that. He's kind of just doing what he needs to do. But against
yeah.
Noctis, like you do a lot more whiffing, you do a lot more like forward 2 and get counter hit a lot. Noctis is a
Mhm.
blocking matchup. Like it's really annoying, but Noctis like if you're not eating back 2, you have a slight edge with generic pokes up close. So like
Mhm.
your jab is really hard to move around. Your down forward 1 also. Your generic down 4 into while standing 1 is also really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
So if you're not eating big whiffs or big counter hits against Noctis, and you can outpace him in the small game with those moves, then it's really hard for him to outpace your damage, right?
Yeah.
Um,
How fast is Noctis's the high counter hit thing you do?
13 frames.
Have you tried? Does that beat down 4 while standing 1? Does it counter hit?
No, because your
Oh,
down 4 puts you -2,
yeah.
and your while standing 1 is 11, right?
Yeah. So it'd be
So I think
13.
it trades, but the situation is weird because I think the while standing 1 counter hit knocks me back, so I don't get a combo.
Mm,
Yeah, so it's
okay.
like yeah, and then if you're getting me to up forward 1 like that after you've down forward, you can just stay ducking and launch me. So
Yeah.
um
Okay.
yeah, so that's a Noctis specific thing. Um, let me see what else is interesting. Yeah, I don't see you use the headbutt a lot, which is fascinating to me because that move is nasty.
It is, but it's also like high, and I find that if I apply jab pressure, then people like to duck.
Okay, so yeah, it's a use case thing, right? So like you're
Yeah.
not using that move as a attack,
Hmm.
right? You're using that move as a counter hit.
Yeah.
So when they're attacking you, so that's when the ducking is irrelevant. The only time that's irrelevant is if they're they're using high crush offense, right?
Yeah, I guess I should throw it out more in general. Even on hit situations, it's something I guess I should throw out more because
This might be
it's
a dumb
13.
idea, but let's try a mirror real quick.
Okay.
I want to see if I can apply what I'm talking about. Just specifically in like the style of Gigas that I think is really good.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist.
It might not work,
Tournament
but we'll
7. Gigas. Get
Like I said,
ready
I
for the
did.
next
Well,
battle,
yeah.
battle.
Just play it out. Yeah, the big thing too is that I've been streaming to help me with this too. Is that I've gotten good to instincts a lot more than verbalizing or like reasoning. So even when I do well, I can't be like, oh, I read this guy like this. If I happen to get the read, I get the read, but I can't say why I got the read. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's a big
Round
progression
1.
step.
Yeah.
Fight.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what I did.
Round 2.
In a first to two, that move is disgusting because it just ends the game.
It does, yeah. I feel like that's why Gigas is good though. Like well, I like him for his explosiveness.
KO. Round 3. Fight. Great. Round 4. Fight.
Yeah, that's why I can't combo you if we trade.
Oh yeah, that new counter hit. You gotta love that.
KO. Final
That
round.
headbutt on counter hit,
Fight.
like jab counter hit, gets you the round one.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Oh shit, man.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, the headbutts.
It's a move to throw out. Like
Yeah,
that I
if
just need to throw out.
yeah, basically like you know how Steve functions.
As a counter hit tool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, like if you
Yeah.
just look at the damage it does, it's literally like equivalent to Steve with no wall. So you're like literally.
Yeah, I guess if I'm scared of them ducking and they're ducking my jabs, I might as well
No,
throw
no.
something where if they counter hit, it gets.
I'm a
60
pick. I'm a pick Kazumi, but no, it's not. That's not the way to think about it. The way to think about it is, I think they're gonna press. It's not. It's not. I'm trying to hit them. Right?
Tournament 7.
Okay.
You are attacking them in a way that makes them want to respond,
Kazumi
right? Because they're
Mishima.
tired of having to get hit, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
then you are countering their hit. You're counter hitting them. It's not. It's not a mix up. It's not a poke. It's none of those. It's. I think he's going to hit me now, and he's too slow. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does like ducking isn't part of the equation. That's part of you. That would be you. The only reason they would duck is if they're reading your headbutt, which is very
Yeah.
particular,
Round
and that's different.
1.
That's different.
Okay.
Because you said
Fight.
reading your jabs, right? That's very different.
Yeah. And since this jab game is something new to me, that it seems like players that play the game properly have been playing with jab pressure and ducking jab pressure a lot. So like mix up reads on that are semi new ballpark for
Yeah.
me.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't afraid of you ducking my magic 4 because I thought you would press. So like I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna hit him.
Fight. KO. Round 4. Fight.
Nope, nice. Oops.
KO. Final round. Fight.
Hmm.
KO.
良き部をお持ちですね。
We'll run this first to 2, and then I have some more questions on preparation and things like that.
Yeah, what?
Oh, after we run this first to 2, I have some more questions on how you prepare and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
More ideas we can work on.
Welcome to the Kazumi Mishima. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight. KO. Round 2. Fight.
Oh, that recovery is really fast. That was long. Yeah, the headbutt recovery is super fast. That was hard to whip punish.
Yeah.
Round 3. Fight. KO. Round 4. Fight.
Oops, I jabbed.
Fight.
Nice.
Great. Lose. Get ready for the next battle.
How fast is Kazumi's magic? 4.
11. And what is it?
恐怖を教えて差し上げます。
A -9 on block.
Round 1. Fight. KO. Round 2. Fight. KO. Round 3. Fight. KO. Round 4. Fight.
Uh,
KO. Final round. Fight. KO.
Jeez. So, what does that feel like to you? Talk to me what it likes. What that either the matchup against Kazumi or the matchup against me feels like. Like, what was that experience like for you?
I mean, for that, the Kazumi feels a lot more manageable to me.
Yeah, why is that?
Like I don't. It's a big thing about the comfortability that I'm not sure of. Is just like certain characters. They're just maybe I like intuitively understand the game plan a lot better. Like
Yeah,
there's a lot
let's talk it
less.
out. Let's talk it out. Let's bring that intuition into like words. Like you can be wrong. It's okay. Let's just figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It just like the game. That particular game. Uh, the jab pressure seems to work really well. And then once you start ducking, then I'm like, all right, he starts ducking, then I'll throw some mids in there.
Yeah.
Plus, for that one, I seem to be able to sort of, I guess, since you're trying to play close range or something a lot more compared to your Noctis, where you like your whiff punishes and backdash a lot more, it feels a lot more, what's the word for it? I guess I understand. I feel like I understand your game plan in that matchup, and I can deal with that a lot better than the Noctis matchup.
Okay, what do you feel like my game plan is on Kazumi?
Jab pressure type stuff. So yeah, jab pressure, a lot of it, and I don't know if that's countering to my jab pressure type of deal, but a lot of jabs. Then eventually you'll throw in a mix in there to catch a duck or
What are the
something like
well,
that.
what are the mix-ups? When you say throw in a
Jab,
mix, what mix are you anticipating?
jab mix up into like mid. Like it's not moves, but
Yeah,
for me it's more of yeah.
that's cool. Which mids are you looking for?
Oh no, not moves. Just like in general, like
No,
you're
I know,
going
I
to
know.
do.
I'm pushing you. I'm pushing you. What moves are you
Okay.
gonna look for?
For the mids, the one that ends the Heihachi splat, the one that you combo the wall splat move at the wall
Down four
is
one
a
two.
good mid. Yeah, it's one that people like to throw out. And then I tend to watch or assume that if you do enough pressure where I just hold back, you're gonna throw in a low eventually. So I usually throw in a low parry every once in a while, buffer a low parry in there. That's sort of my defensive game plan.
Okay.
Is a lot of mids, buffer in a low. If I get the parry,
Yeah.
cool. If I get hit once, then that's not too bad. But at the wall, that kind of game plan gets a little bit risky with the wall splat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
So
game
yeah,
plan.
it's important for you, and you probably do this intuitively, but it's important for you to know which moves you're playing against, right?
Yeah.
Because fuzzy low pairing a stature kick will get you hit by a down three,
Mm-hmm.
or a generic down four. Fuzzy low pairing a generic down four and then standing up will probably get you hit by a stature kick, right? So like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not only the position of the moves mid low, it's the timing of it that has a huge difference, and that's part of why it makes sense that your headbutt game isn't there yet, because
Mhm.
it doesn't sound like that, at least cognitively. Like it's probably happening intuitively, but cognitively that's not a variable that is being accounted for, right? So
Yeah,
like
for
if
sure.
I try to stature kick you and you were more concerned about mid low, you're missing an opportunity to just counter hit me out of it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Because the stature kick is pretty slow. It's not like super slow, but it's slower than a 13 frame headbutt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
um talk to me about when you say labbing matchups, what have you gone through, and or how do you do it?
Yeah, so as of right now, the big thing is like the characters that I feel really heavy under pressure when I play them, right? So right
Okay.
now it's Lars and Huarang that I have run into trouble with. But like that's how I use rank now, and that's how it's actually made it a lot more fun. Where I'll run into a matchup and I'll be like, okay, how do I feel with this matchup? Is it comfortable? And then I apply my game plan. But certain characters like Lars, I'll run into and be like, dang, I feeling overwhelmed and I'm not sure how to properly deal with it. So then if that happens, I'll look back to the match at my replay and then I'll go through their moves on the move list and see. Right now too, I'm learning moves that Gigas can actually semi sidestep. Like I've labbed Noctis after facing him in tournament enough times where I can try and sidestep a few of your strings. And I'm a bit of a slow learner on that. So my thing is like, all right, if I can apply this sidestep when they try and do this next time, then I'll be a success.
Which
Boom.
moves?
And
Which Noctis moves are you trying to sidestep?
the main one is just your sword throw, the one where he jumps back, or and yeah, any of your like mix-ups off the jump back situation, the jump back
Yeah.
throw, because I can. If I'm good at sidestepping, I can sidestep, and then you also gotta wait if you want to get a real launch,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then do it. So like I'm like, okay, But then that's also the kind of situation where like I understand the Noctis player knows that move can be sidestepped, but of course it's all about awareness. Where if you
Yeah.
happen to do it, I can do it, right?
Yeah.
So there's that kind of thing. Uh, labbing, what is it? The sword string. Well, it's one of I lab certain strings to see which strings I can interrupt. Like Zafino is one where I labbed recently, where her weird, her spinny kick that she can do twice. I can just shut that down because it's
Yeah.
-10 after the
1 plus
first
2,
one
4,
type of
4.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, it's that kind of labbing. Just and
Yeah.
then I
Okay.
try and pay attention to frames to be like, okay, where are they plus or minus? And then if I remember like this move when I play that opponent again, if I can semi remember the situation. Right now, I'm not versed enough in the game to be like, all right, that move is -9 or that move is like +9 or whatever. I'm playing right now just if they're plus or minus, if I can try and just remember that and then see how they react in that situation. And that's helped because, I've faced a few Lars afterwards where I'm like, oh, they're plus after, uh, what's the move? I'm using the tactic of like actually applying it to the move. What is it? I'll use Elisa because that's the one I remember. Elisa's fly-in where she power crushes is +9. I ran into Beauty and I saw that anytime that she was heavily plus, she liked to duck.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. That's a cool read. I got it down too. And I was like, nice. We're starting to learn
Mm-hmm.
a little more about tendencies there. But yeah, so that's my labbing process on
Okay.
that.
So yeah. So the biggest thing I would start with is I would just start with the moves that are hitting you. Like find the problem moves. Like where am I losing HP, right?
Yeah.
Because when you mentioned Noctis, I'm not doing 2-2 back 2 ever.
Yeah.
I'm not doing so to me that is less productive or less efficient. There's nothing wrong with learning, right? But to
Yeah.
me, if you're trying to directly turn that into competitive wins, you need to find the things that are actually killing you, right? So off the top of your head, I know this might be challenging, but like can you think of a few things Noctis is doing that is beating you up?
Yeah, I mean the big one is the sword lows. For one, it's because I like to low parry, so I need to just not low parry as much. And labbing those, all of them for the most part, right? The sword lows are at least -13. There's the sword low that goes low high, but
Mm-hmm.
that sword sweep, the lows are very uh, problematic
Okay,
because they hit
which
from
one
a,
is which? It's important to differentiate it because the less specific you are, the harder it is to solve the problem.
okay.
So how many sword lows are there that you know of?
There are at least two.
Yeah,
Two
okay.
I'm thinking of.
There are only two.
Yeah, so
There's a
down
-13.
two.
Yeah, down 2, and what's the other one?
Down forward or down back two. One of those.
It's full crouch
Full
down forward,
crouch.
full crouch
Yeah,
down
yeah.
forward 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if it's out of full crouch, that's different because that adds startup time, right?
Mhm.
The standing one is a bit scarier, but like it's -15, right? With the
Mhm.
high extension mix up.
Yeah.
So those details are important because how you play around them is different. If both of them
Okay.
are from standing and one of them's -13, that's different. But you know that for the other one, I have to walk up, go into crouch, and then do the move. And all of that is time that you can, react to my forward movement, do an up forward 3 or something, right? Like
Yeah.
So
Okay.
those details really really matter. It's like not like a small
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Pay attention to
Um,
moves. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. So like when you're talking about Lars and Horang, do you have specific matches that you've played against them that you can send to me, or do you want to, or yeah, do you have like
Yeah,
footage we can look at?
let me see. Have I saved any? Yeah. Okay. Is this
Welcome
screen
to the
share?
King Kazumi Mishima. Gigas.
And yeah, the big thing about Lars that gets me is that people always say he's super low tier, but to me,
Don't listen to
it's
people.
yeah, it's just like your comfortability, right? Like once you understand, I guess there's more to it. But for me, the big thing with Lars is that I tried to lab his silent entry, but I think how it's being used, like you can do silent entry and like cancel a lot faster in practice mode gets to you. And the other thing with Lars that gets me is him and Howrang in the same situation of once they start getting pressure, like high pressure on you. So let's see. Oops. Okay. So let's see the strings that mess me up.
Yeah, it's not just going to be strings. You should need to look at situations. So when are the
Okay.
moves happening to you, right? What spacing are you guys at when he decides to do that? What frames are you
Okay.
at when he decides to do that?
Yeah,
Right.
I guess if you could watch this and then be like,
So
all
like
right,
so that's like definitely a string problem, right? Like
yeah,
that one's a bit easier to see. But there's other things like, okay, down back 4 into grab. You know. Also, yeah, you need to practice throw breaking.
I've been getting better. I've been at least seeing them when I break them for the
Yes.
most part.
Just
So
like
that's
5 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be a lot. But
yeah,
yeah. Put on like Jin or Dragonov where it's legitimate
yeah.
mix-ups.
The big thing is that it's from Street Fighter. I like to like to break on right away
Yeah.
when there's a lot more
Yeah.
time,
So
and
you
that's the
you have
big
to
thing.
you have to train your mind to give it a lot of time because you have so
Yeah,
much time.
I actually have to slow down, and
Yeah.
slowing down helped a lot.
That's what the
So,
practice is for sure. It's better to be wrong but doing the correct thing, or it's
yeah,
too slow or too fast but doing the correct thing.
that sweep
Yeah.
is a nightmare for me. I hate that sweep.
Yeah. So why is it a nightmare? Tell me why it's a nightmare.
It is only 13 frames. Oh, no, I don't know how slow it is, but it's
Well,
one of
let's
those
just
things.
rewind it. We have it right here.
Oh yeah. So let's see.
How slow is it?
21. So I don't know. It's one of those things where like it feels like it should be more reactable, but I never get it. And the other thing is that it clips me really well from just any range, and yeah, it counter hits me really well. I guess that's anybody with these big low sweeps. I get counter hit a lot, so I guess that's the big thing.
Okay. So
Him,
when you're getting counter hit by his sweep, what were
yeah,
you doing when you got counter hit? Not in this situation, in general.
yeah. In general, it's gonna catch me coming in, or it's gonna catch me like doing a high like jab pressure from distance, right?
Yep.
Or
Okay. So
kinda
what is the counter to that?
either do nothing or maybe start mids, try and get some mids in there.
Okay. Or we can block low, right?
Yeah, or you can get the block and then
Yeah.
the launch.
So you can low parry my generic down 4 on a guess, right? Or my stature kick on a guess, right?
Yeah.
You can block his down back 4 on a guess. You don't have to react.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes,
Okay.
reacting is better, but like, you can still guess it, How
Mm-hmm.
much damage did he get from doing that?
The numbers aren't there.
Oh, yeah,
Not much.
you can
Not
use,
much.
yeah, not much, right? Like 20
Yeah.
or 18.
Yeah.
How much damage do you get if you block it?
Launch like 70.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in reality, he should be scared of doing the down back 4,
Yeah.
right? And if you get hit by it, now you have awareness of a new situation where he did it. So let's rewind 5 seconds. If you got hit by something and you didn't like it, let's rewind and see what happened right before.
Okay.
Okay?
So
You whiffed a move and then did a block, and he did a down back 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to. So the first thing is like we can notice that. Now let's keep watching, and next time we see a down back 4, we'll evaluate what happened. Good punish. Okay, so
Oh,
he
he
did
coming in.
he did a wake up low, right? So now
Yeah.
we know he's looking for windows for you to come in and he wants to counter hit you.
Yeah.
It's happened with the down back 4. It's happened with the get up kick. Good break. Okay, so that's another thing killing you, right? You jab and you're committed to doing the jab pressure. So you whiff
Yeah.
the second jab, but they're not whiff punishing the first jab. If you saw that your first jab whiff and just stopped, he wouldn't get that. You'd actually get a punish and kill him,
Okay.
right? So that's an important thing to tap down on, is not like hitting the button twice, even though it's like really tempting. Because otherwise you win. He tried to launch it. Okay, jab down for 2.
Yeah, I guess that's me not learning, right? Like that's not right here is a situation where if I was paying attention and reading, then I jabbed, he whiffed, and then I went for a high jab string again. So that's the thing of like, well,
That's
I
fine.
shouldn't do that on whiff.
It's a
for
lot of
sure.
muscle. It's a lot of muscle memory to undo. So it's definitely not going to be
Yeah.
easy. But yeah. How did he hit you? Let's figure out how he hit you. Okay, so he did.
Backswing.
He did. We should. Okay, so when you do this, you should turn on command history and look at his command history.
Oh.
So return to battle log and play it back from the right side.
See, this is useful right here because this will.
You will
It's
immediately
like-
know what move he's doing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just analyzing in general, like that's one thing that I'm like, I guess I'm analyzing, but
Yeah.
I just didn't know what to look for.
The first thing
So,
to the
okay.
first thing to look for is what is doing damage to me, what is hitting me,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then if you don't know why it hit you, you rewind 5 seconds and be like, okay, why did that hit me? Yeah, turn on command history at the top. I was clueless about all these for a long time. Okay,
I think we got. That was round 3. Yeah. Okay.
okay, so he does while standing 2, and then he put forward in, but it's really down. Down puts him in the stance, and then he hit 2 out of stance, and you were coming in with buttons, so he counter hit you.
Yeah.
So what were you trying to do? Okay, you press 2-1, right?
Yeah. I was trying to 2-1 sort of can get silent entry. It hits lower than the jab,
yeah,
than the normal jab.
yeah.
So I was just trying to flip him coming in.
Yeah, so if you mash against dynamic entry though, he can counter hit launch you, right? So what is the
Mhm.
counter to what he just did?
Best option there is block, or I know down back to clips them coming in.
That's a mid, so you would have gotten counter hit anyways.
Okay.
So the counter is block, or get a whiff punish. If Lars is doing that shit, you usually just let him do it
Okay.
because he's not winning. The best thing you can do is like dash in if you really want to like push him to the wall or something. But as you can see, if you clip him with your down back 2, you get like 10 HP or whatever, or you know, you get down back 2 is a decent amount of damage. But
Yeah.
he would have gotten the ball break if he were playing properly. So risk reward,
I
right?
want to see how he ducked. Like, did he react duck? He was good at that.
That is hard to discern. I wouldn't think about that too much. It's hard to figure out if somebody was just reacting or not.
Yeah, but still, it's a clean. It looks like he did a clean down and not like a mash down. So that's something for me.
I'm not sure if I see that, but yeah. That one you break, I think, by holding down.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of the deaths and situations are just kind of like pressing in unfamiliar situations
Mm-hmm.
or overextending into an offense that, you know, overextending by trying to apply your offense in an inappropriate situation.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, like, you know, had you not given him the counter hits, how does he get his damage?
Yeah. As like a Noctis player, how viable is actually stepping silent entry like in a match? Because I don't know. That's
It's
one
pretty
thing
hard.
where
Pretty hard.
okay, it's pretty hard. It's not something that's viable.
Well, it is, but because Lalars can timing change,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a high consistency thing to do. It is
Okay.
reliable if you have the timing read, but not a high consistency thing to do.
Okay, so it's not the option I thought it was.
You just have to remember that silent entry only murders you if you duck into the mid launch, get wall
Mhm.
bounced, or you get counter hit by the low, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you guess wrong, you don't take that much damage.
Okay.
That's an important thing. Is like he lands a silent entry 2. How much work did he put into where you could just hit down back 2, or you could hit down 4 twice? You know,
Mm-hmm.
that is an important way to look at it as well.
Okay. Yeah. Strong.
Sorry, can you rewind it? My screen capture turned off a bit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Hey, round start down 2.
Yeah, that's this guy. Like part of it is some familiarity at this point, but of course he beat me 0-3, so the familiarity.
Okay,
Not
so he
wrong.
blew his rage. He blew his rage. Nice jab check to maintain like a frame advantage, or to like secure frame advantage. That's fine. Okay, so what killed us? What killed us?
Going in on silent entry.
What did you try to do?
4-4-2. It looks like.
Okay,
Let's see.
so
Yeah.
look at his HP. How
Yeah.
what you do not need forward 2 to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you run into him, what were the problems we identified? Down back 4, in this case back sway, silent entry if he decides to go into stance for some reason, do counter hit 2. Instead, what if it were like the Kazumi games and you were already up close and you just jabbed him twice or hit a 2-1 or hit a down 4, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't demand, the situation doesn't demand that big of a commitment.
Okay.
So go ahead, keep playing. He gets all this because, you know,
The wall carry is nasty.
he messed up. Okay, what happened here? Back up. So he drops the
I'll
combo.
go for the kill.
You go for
I'm
down 3.
low.
Okay.
What was my frames when I did that? -7 into low.
Yeah. And what Lars, the most jump moves start evading at frame 9. But another important thing here is, how does he kill you?
My
Orbital is a good
presses-
example. Lightning Screw's another example, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't. There was more game to be played. You didn't have to kill him right there. He has no rage, right? He has no rage, so he can't kill you. The only way he kills you is if he counter hits you or evades,
Okay.
or you whiff. But if the situation stabilizes and you just play in frame, and he just eats 1-2-1, he's dead. Or a back or down back 2, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
So you made 2 really big commitments in situations that just didn't demand it because he had no rage and he has like 1 hit from death.
Okay.
Yeah. If he has rage, it's a slightly different story, but he doesn't. So
Got the wall. Got the break. Ugh.
okay, last hit again, and he slides. Yeah. So like all of your HP was like, it was a poor resource management, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so he just, what did he do? What did you do? What did he do? Or start with what he did. So he's +7, and what did you do?
I tried to do a 4-3.
Was that too slow? Did you like delay it? 'Cause it should work, right? I think you delayed it, right? Pause, +7, and then your move. What's your next move? How slow is 4-3?
21 frames. It's
Uh,
slow. It's slow.
let me look. '23. Okay, yeah. So you were +7, did 23. He was 1 frame faster.
Oh wow.
But
I
now,
mean-
what does this tell you? What does this tell you about how he handled that situation when you were +7?
He knew how to throw out a slow move.
Well, he mashed a
Or-
launcher.
Yeah, Matt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So whether he
yeah.
knew it or not, he did something that is very exploitable.
On plus.
Right,
So
he
pressing
made a-
on
he
heavy
made a-
plus.
He made a
Okay.
low percent. He made a decision. He bet his life on that.
Okay.
He was at a disadvantage and he didn't want to handle the pressure, so he bet his life on it. Right? Because what happens if you just block or sit still? He
Yeah.
whiffs and then you kill him, right?
Rest on the low.
All right. So what happened? Yeah. What happened here? You did up 4-3.
Yeah.
So now we know. Let's rewind. So let's look at the situation. We know that doesn't work. After the wall combo, you're +8, but you're tech rolling, I think, or you hold back to get up. Either way, in that situation, you can't up 4-3 in time to beat down back 4. That's just something to mentally note.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe tap up would have worked. I'm not sure, but okay. Counter hit out of the silent entry or jabbed out of power crush. Oh. Round start, 4-4-2, catch him moving. He's caught moving. Okay, good step. Punish. Look at this. You're playing. Oh. So we see that again, that he's mashing launchers, right? Because he wants to make the HP back. He
Yeah.
can't handle being at deficit, so you don't have to risk going into stance.
Yeah. Plus that stance on block is just launchable in general.
Yeah, so you don't
So-
have to do that. You can just keep controlling him. Like, he has to do so much work to come back. Unless you give it to him, right?
That move.
And now you have to guess.
Then I freaked out.
But had you not gone into the launch punishable stance, you wouldn't have even been in that guess in the first place, right?
Oh, he did teabag me. I was curious. Okay, but yeah, I mean,
Right.
looking at this match like this makes it
Yeah, you want to look at how you die and how you're killing him, and literally prior until you doing something. The exception is the forward 3, right? That was a bit slow, but that helps you understand that he's gonna mash a launcher, which could have informed the golem stance or whatever it's called, you know. So he's not really pressuring you.
Yeah,
right? Upon watching it back, it doesn't really look like pressure to me. It looks like you're running into his shit, and then you're put in forced mix-ups where you do have to guess. But it's not like the whole game is pressure. It's you winning until you're not, and then he pressures you for a final mix because it's second 7. You know? Like, yeah.
Nah, looking at it, definitely a lot more revelatory than it felt. It's one of those matches where when I play, I'm like, dang man, get mixed up.
No, you're fucking him up. Like you're literally destroying him. You know?
That's cool to see. I wish I had my Hwoarang matches, but I think Hwoarang is sort of, it's like they feel the same to me. It's in the same vein of why I lose. For Hwoarang, it's the Flamingo mix-ups, and I know my best option is to dick punch eventually since I can't really sidestep. And of course, they start reading that I want to duck, and they'll start launching. And then I'm like, man, this just feels like mix-up central. I don't feel like we're really playing a game type of deal with that, but.
I mean, your character is kind of doing the same thing. So it's like the advantage you have is your reach. For Hwoarang to get in, it's important to see how he starts his mix. So I can't play Hwoarang very well, but I can at least imitate what Ishida does. So, are we still friends? I can invite you if not.
No, we were never friends.
That's cap. We definitely were at one point. But my friends list keeps filling up because all the tournament people want you to add them and shit, you know. I have an open lobby.
All right, but yeah, no, that's super useful for me of how to analyze replays better. That's definitely that's why I wanted like tips from you, just because I'm like I feel like I have some pieces there, but I don't know how to apply it properly.
For sure, bro.
So I think that will be I think that will be really useful.
Yeah, you always start with what hit you, and then what were you doing prior to getting hit, and then you can identify what they were thinking, but you have to start with what hit you and what you were trying to do. Like, why did it even work? And then you can like reverse engineer the decision making process. So like we saw, like you were plus 1,000,000, plus 7, and then Lars threw out a forward 1 plus 2. So he either didn't want to deal with the mix up and thought you would do something slow, or either he thought you would do something slow, or he just didn't want to deal with the mix up. And in both cases, the counter is stay in frame, and he just dies.
Okay.
Where the fuck is Hwoarang?
Staying in frame. That's a cool term.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like Gigas is a good character for me as like a learner character because he only has a few situations where he's actually plus. So playing that plus minus game on my side is a lot.
There's a bit more. There's a bit more that you'll start becoming more aware of, like not just plus minus game, but also like frames at different spacings.
Yeah.
So yeah, my Hwoarang is ass, but I can do very specific things that Ishida does.
Yeah, that's he's the kind of Hwoarang that's tough for me because if he knew that he could just go full aggro and then try to actually play the game against me, he would win so much more.
Yeah.
So,
If you see once you see how once we apply the decision making process that we did, you'll see it's very different.
Yeah. And I guess those are the matches I won is where like I don't get flustered and just pay attention. There it is. That string in particular because that's natural hit.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
Not really.
KO. Round 3. Fight. KO. Round 4. Fight. Great. Final round. Fight.
Nice. So, how is the mix-up starting?
A lot of it starts with what's that natural hang, the low into high.
Yeah, what happens right before that?
Jab pressure? Not sure.
Let's find out. Let's run it back.
Okay.
Get ready for the next battle.
And I've been watching like some Eddie player streams to understand their mindset. And I'm like, man, they like to downplay their character, but I don't understand what they're doing. But you know, when you know your character really well, you understand their holes, and that's why I watch them to see like what they're getting mad about getting hit by.
That's not a bad
Round
idea.
1. Fight.
Damn it, stay down. No,
KO. Round 2. Fight.
what?
KO. Round 3. Fight.
Oops. Were you able to see where the flamingo mix-ups came from this time?
No, not really.
That's okay. So he can only go into it either raw run up down 3-4, or he does 1-2-3, and that puts him in stance.
Is
The
there only a
weakness,
few moves?
the
Okay.
weakness of 1-2-3 and 1-2-4 is he has to do 2 high moves before you can even get into stance, and then he's in a stance where he can't block.
Okay, transitions.
So if he's doing 3 advancing high moves into not being able to block, how do we counter that?
Either probably fastest option for me is duck and then while standing one.
Yep.
If-
Or full on launch it, because
Yeah, okay.
he's going high for a really long time.
Okay.
So check the replays and experiment with that. What spacing is he starting the 1-2 at? So I can anticipate and try and launch him. Now, you know, he still has Skyrocket and other moves.
Yeah, yeah.
But just like with the Lars down back 4, if he commits to it and you're ready or reading it, he dies.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna pick Kazumi for a last first to 2, and then
King of Iron Fist Tournament
Yeah.
I will
7,
send you the
Time.
VOD as well.
Kazumi
What is
Mishima.
I don't know. What's your best way to actually
Get
practice
ready for
high
the next
pressure
battle.
like strength? Not like
Yeah.
tournament nerves, but actual.
Yeah, so what I do is
Someone-
I set the bot to like forward dash twice and then do their move.
Okay.
So I'll be practicing just moving around and then backdashing or something, and then the bot comes into me and does its attack, kind of like it would in a real game.
Okay.
And then I practice defending against that.
Round 1.
All right. Let's
Fight.
practicing some different wall opening situations too. Yeah.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
Alright, poke.
Your headbutt was a bit slow. It should have beaten me.
Round 3. Fight.
You can punish that.
KO. Round 4. Fight. KO.
良き部をお持ちですね。
Get ready for the next battle. Battle. Round one. Fight. KO. Round two. Fight. KO. Round three. Fight. KO.
The right read there. I was like, I'm gonna run in
Round
and
four.
duck. Cause he's gonna
Fight.
magic form me, and it's gonna be sick. I guess that's one of the things about the Kazumi matchup is like, what's her big low other than just transitioning to like.
KO.
I would ask the same question. What is Noctis's big low?
Final round.
That's true, huh?
Fight.
Other than the big spear.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oops.
No. Damn it. But yeah. No, that's an interesting point. Because like I guess my big thing with Kazumi is like I don't mind his blocking.
Yeah, and you notice how big of a difference in your gameplay that makes?
Yeah.
Like, what is
That's-
Lars? What is Lars's big low?
His big double sweep thing.
Yeah, forward, 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one, but he has to come at you, right?
Yeah, and you know if it hits, it hits. Okay, that's interesting. That's
Yeah. You're getting
nice.
like desperate over situations that don't demand that much desperation, because the way you play
Okay.
around Kazumi is really annoying for me. It's like my lows don't do anything to stop you from hitting me, but they also
Yeah.
don't make you block. You just low parry me randomly and then I die. It's like,
Yeah.
and if I can't react to down back two, like I'm not good that day, then like I'm fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, thanks. It's super
sure, bro.
useful.
Yeah.
Super useful. So I might book another one with in a while to see if improvements have gone, and then I'll have other questions for you. But yeah, nice. Thanks a lot. So
For sure, bro. Let me see.
I'll pay you on the PayPal.
Thanks. So for first to two, I think you're a sub right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I give a discount, so I'll give that too. I just need to look at what the price is.
I think I have you up.
Oh my god, my head. Ugh. Um,
42.